Hello and welcome to SpeedGaming. This is Casual Boots Tournament, round of 48. Jesse RS99 versus Trinexx. And this is Game 3. With me in the booth is the man, the myth, the legend, the golden ratio himself, PH112358.
Oh my goodness, that is the single greatest introduction in the history of introductions. Sean, possibly a sliver, maybe secret, maybe not, I don't know. How the heck are you?
I'm ready for some Casual Boots action. It's Game 3 even, it's the elimination game, so I hope you didn't pay for your whole seat, because you're only going to need the edge of it.
Darn right, it's and then immediately after this we're all going to watch Monster Trucks. No, this is gonna be great. Super excited. So the first two games were super crazy. I think, Sean, you were telling me they had like a really unusual game one, right?
Yeah, I think according to the race room chat, they didn't go to South Shore until after they had done Turtle Rock, which is not something you see every day. So,
oh yeah, that's
to say
wild.
the least.
All right.
So, of course, this is Casual Boots, which means this is a standard start, and we get a sword. So while we're going through this escape sequence and maybe getting a little bit of sync on the runners, we're hearing some not Zelda music here through the magic of MSU1. Do you recognize any of these songs coming from Jesse's side, PH?
I do. So this is the TurboGrafx 16, also known as the PC Engine. It's a variety pack of songs from kind of like the sort of last of the 8-bit / first of the 16-bit consoles, but it is one that I helped put together. But what I didn't help put together is the skill that these runners have in knocking out the escape sequence. So here's my question for you, Sean. Who finishes first? And are either of them under 5:05?
Well, I know Jesse hasn't. I know that's about Jesse's average. Yeah, I'm gonna say Jesse finishes first with about that 5:05.
Okay. All right. Well, for the sake of, this is the entertainment industry, right? So we have to have manufactured controversies. So I'm going to go with Trinexx. I think he takes it. But we'll see who gets out of here first.
Right.
I think it's also really, like, it's funny because for a lot of our runners, when they do Casual Boots, even though there's this kind of feeling in the community of like, well, sometimes there's all these things that you do the same over and over, but people love the escape sequence. It's really fun. It's like a great sort of way to warm up and go into the seed. And what I'm seeing here is some pretty darn close sync.
Yeah, absolutely. I always like doing Casual Boots over like an open mode, because it's kind of like you just get these 5 minutes to sit down, relax, play Zelda, and maybe look at the timer at the end and know how well you're executing that day.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the timer at the end, know how well you're executing, and then get mad that you somehow didn't get the number that you wanted.
Yeah, the old speedrunner trick of, oh, I lost 40 frames here and 2 frames there, and
exactly. If only I had pushed left at this time, I would have avoided all of these things, and I would have gotten my 455.
Well, we have found the magic cape here, which is interesting, because that, along with the fighter sword, is 2 of the 3 things we need to go to AGA 1.
Ooh. Alright, so here's the dream, is in the back you catch the lamp, and you catch the... Actually, technically all you need is the lamp, but for real fun, the mirror, and then you can drop off Zelda and immediately mirror and do the, do the climb.
I like your funny words, Magic Man.
Well, one can only hope. But yeah, that is one of the fun things about Kaz Boots, though, is that it actually does feel like the incidence of AGA seeds is a lot higher, because you're like halfway to AGA already, or now, in our case, 3/4 of the way, right?
Yeah, so with any sort of shard seed, it bumps the chance of a required AGA 1 seed. So I'm a little more willing to play AGA early in casual boots than in other modes. I go to AGA 1 pretty early as a rando runner though. Mostly because I kind of like that dungeon because I do NMG.
Yeah, I'm with you. It's fun, and I think it can actually be like a pretty strong play when you. And we'll see what kind of the
Oh
there's
baby,
a roll.
oh baby, here we go.
Don't tempt me. But like, I think that it's a really interesting decision point often early in the seed. That's kind of one of the funny things about casual boots and open modes in general is because you don't need as many items as like a key sanity, right? A lot of it comes down to a smaller number of potentially more impactful decisions. And so something like, hey, do I pull the trigger on Aga early, or do I try and, go to all the way to Zora for my potential Dark World access instead? Can make a huge difference. So we'll see if they get kind of into one of those 50-50s like that. But right now, this is close.
Yeah, we're in pretty much lockstep here. It does look like Jesse will finish first just barely with a, I don't know, 506, 507.
Trinexx dropped the dash. I'm so upset. No, geez,
and
getting out.
And Jesse paying attention and knowing that map was there. Trinexx not bothering with counting items and just getting burned on whatever low percentage of seeds that is.
Yeah, and it actually can make a difference, right? Like, I mean, you never know, but a few seconds here and there can add up pretty quickly, and not having to grab that. It's funny because you actually can see they literally finished within like a tiny fraction of a second of each other, but by not having to grab that, Jesse actually picks up a few seconds here, and now has an obviously insurmountable lead.
Okay, so tier 2 triple. 10 arrows. Oh, but we have some rich crabs.
Yeah, that's really nice. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, that's less nice, but
yeah,
so just a curved stick as our lumberjack ledge item, but man, you really just cannot ignore that you can get to the dark world with just a lamp here.
Yeah. So this is interesting that Jesse chose to chase back and farm a little bit more money. I'm wondering he's doing it again. I'm wondering if he's already thinking about Zora.
Yeah, from where he is, he can both pay the vendor and hold a hand down for Zora money. So
yeah,
hopefully we won't have to do the hold a hand because that's actually kind of slow, but we have the option.
Also, Jesse with the heat. I don't know if you saw he managed to get the extra. The tier 2 crab drop was a bomb. So massive.
To go with the 8 in his inventory.
Exactly. But that is not that easy to do depending on the positioning. So that's nicely done.
Yeah, I remember having to do an 8th drop in spoiler, and it kind of sucks because it is very RNG based depending on which crab you get. Like if you're trying to get an 8th drop in spoiler, you'd probably just try the log crab and then and then try to trap him in the log there, but then sometimes he throws the item and gets in your way and just bounces you around, so
yeah, there's only so much you can do. I remember actually, I think it might have even been like the same seed or one of the similar ones, Andy talking about that and being like, I had the game like I've never gamed before. So
Alright, so it looked like we had a 5 crystal at Hera, regular crystal at Eastern. I didn't see the desert prize, but I think we'll get a check on Jesse's side.
We get to watch both screens. Like cheating. Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Verna doesn't really matter too much. Because the cape already gives us our invincibility item for Spike Cave, so Burnus just kind of which invincibility item would you rather use at the time?
Trinexx freeing the chicken, very important.
Yes, the most important play in this game, actually.
Jesse, oh no. Oh dear.
Oh. He just cursed himself.
Oh no. Well, yeah, it's one of those things where I think actually it might have even been Trinexx was talking about it. The lifting up the pot to free the chicken actually works really well to time the bomb explosion. So it's like actually it's not even like a time waste basically.
Oh, we're passing up the fillet. How else are you going to beat Aga 2?
They'll have to figure something out. All right.
Just a peek on the race game. Are you a peeker or are you a blind checker?
In non-peak sanity modes like this, I generally will just peek. I think the time cost is, given that you actually don't have that many things that you need in a seed, I think the likelihood of an item being there is low enough that it's worth it. But like in key sanity, I'm generally I'll just rush it. How about you?
See, I'm in casual boots. You already have boots and a sword, so I don't see the time loss for a blind check as that bad. And like, if it's a heart container up there, you're not going to want to go all the way around for it if you peek it, right? But then, you know, if you blind check it, then you just pick it up and you have an extra heart.
No, that's totally fair. I mean, oh, nice lamp. Here we go.
Here we go. We also picked up a Master Sword somewhere around, and there have been statistics run that when you get both Master Sword and Magic Cape in the initial sphere, that's Aghanim triples chance of being required.
Wow. It was the damn chest was where the Master Sword was. So basically just screaming Aga. But the real question is, do we catch something that gets us to the other side of the world?
Yeah, I was just gonna bring that up. Like, you don't sure playing Aga can be a benefit if you play it on the right seed, but you kind of want to be a little responsible about it and at least take either a hammer or a hook shot with you, because a hammer, you know, can let you go down to Hype Cave, or you can decide to just go into Pod. It's very, very rare that a seed will require you to beat Aga 1 to get something forced out of Pod.
Yeah. And it can happen, right? But it's also one of those things where right now we've got, you know, only a few more checks. I think it definitely doesn't incentivize you to the same degree. Also, I think Jesse's probably I've been in his shoes exactly, and I know that when I took time to farm money and then like 300s show up, I always feel a little bit annoyed because it's like, oh, my opponent was like, I thought maybe this was worth it. Now, you know, I've got like 1,000 rupees.
Yeah, it seems that every seed I visit the Holy Hand Room, I immediately get 300 rupees afterwards, and then it's like,
yeah, well, exactly.
Alright, not interested in the Man Under the Bridge, but coming into Waterfall Ferry.
Yeah,
there are a few better times to check the Man Under the Bridge, so...
Yeah. It's interesting, they're both taking pretty much identical routes here. I mean, not pretty much, identical routes.
I mean, honestly, they've already played 2 games against each other, so they've probably done a bit of VOD review to kind of make an initial plan, because... I mean, I would say their execution levels are similar, so like anything you can do to mitigate that luck factor and just, you know, try to outrace your opponent up GT, I think that's good in my book.
Yeah, no, I think you're exactly right. I think it's one of those tricky things where, because I agree with you that like they're both, and to be clear, they're also both very good runners, right? But so they're both towards the upper echelon of the, I would say, of the tournament, and probably have to try and think where can they get an edge. like this divergence. So, getting a Saha play here. Oh, that is a hook shot on Trinexx's side. That's a little. It won't be too bad for Jesse if he goes and gets that next. He can just save and quit back to the mountain if he wants to do the east side. But Trinexx will get to do it all a single shot to get over and do Paradox, which is nice.
Yeah, I actually like the Saha play. My plan right there is probably just Saha, and then if it has nothing, you pull the trigger on Aga.
Yeah, I think that's fair. This is really nice for Trinexx too, because that hook shot, that's what we were just talking about, right? That gives him the West Darkwood access. So if he does do Aga, he's got a lot of the world. He doesn't have to. He won't necessarily get baited into Pod.
Yeah, and Fire Rod in hand. Plus, he's gonna, I believe. We don't have a mirror, so maybe hold off on the Dark World map check. Oh, Jesse doesn't want that half magic. Okay.
Wow, and that really tells you right there, like, how much respect Jesse has for Trinexx, but also, like, you know, this is game 3. This is a win or go home situation, and because half magic is a great safety, but it takes time to go get. And I think Jesse's probably thinking, I've got to pull every possible second I can. Like, let's see if, because Trinexx is definitely not saving and quitting. Yeah, see, same thing.
Yep.
But that's what I mean. He was definitely leaving, but the question was he going to go get it? And I'm sure he's thinking the same thing. He respects Jesse too much to feel like he needs to go get that. Maybe they go get it later if they have an opportunity when they would be like finishing up Hera or something. But right now, it'll just sit there, sad and alone.
Well, it is also good to know that it is obtainable, right? Because that has true. Implications logically. Nice boots, by the way.
Yes, the classy green 20. But no, actually, that's a great point. That's worth calling out, right? Because right now, without any magic extensions, that would potentially have an implication for Spike Cave, right? Nice mix.
And there's the mitts, killing my dream, as usual.
I will inform Sahabad of your displeasure.
Well, that is a nice find though for Trinexx and coming up for Jesse, because now you can do even more of the mountain, but with the slight caveat that if you don't find a hammer soon, getting back here is going to get awkward.
Yeah, because it really limits the things that you would potentially be able to have over here, right? It's like, oh, am I going to go up there just to? I don't even know. Yeah, it's like look for the mirror to hopefully get yourself over to, get yourself to Hera, but that's about it.
Yeah, so I don't think you ever pass up doing these 6 checks, despite the fact that you can't very easily get to Hera. Okay, so we have Green Pendant, Thieves Town, Pendant Pod, and Pendant TR.
Neat.
So, pretty tricky pendant layout actually, because Green Pendant Thieves Town gives it 5 items, and then the other 2 pendants each also have 5 items inside. So.
Yeah,
some pretty thick dungeons are holding our pendants.
Yeah, it's there is to your point, there's a very good chance that at some point, just like in game 2, we're going to end up in kind of that classic which pendant dungeon do you dip, and if you and your opponent don't pick the same one, that can often choose who wins and who loses. So it can feel very kind of like, oh gosh. Right. Ether for TR.
So that does mean we have 1 available crystal up in Skull Woods, but I think the entire time that that they're in Skull Woods, they're going to be thinking about that green pendant in Thieves Town. And with the lack of hammer, that's not an easy decision.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little bit of an awkward call to go in. I think it's also partially like kind of what else do you have to do that is potentially better, right? Like I don't know that we have like a ton of other like really good stuff, right? Like I feel like they could very easily get pulled into doing the whole way through, or they could say, you know, I want to rush down to get to Hype Cave, or we'll just get a bow.
A bow. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So that helps. That gives you.
Oh, that's another pendant, but that also guarantees that we can get 13 out of 14 chests in pod.
Yeah, it also gives us Eastern clear.
I know that Jesse's very good friend Leo loves pendant pod, but Jesse, on the other hand, you know, sometimes friends disagree, and that's okay.
This is true. Sometimes they disagree, sometimes irreconcilably. Sometimes they end up on co-op cross-keys teams together. Yeah, but no, you were exactly right, by the way. Like, you can see they're both... And it makes sense, right? They're both saying, I've got one clearable crystal. Let's immediately make our way up there. This is interesting. I'm a little surprised to see Jesse go into the front first, only because I would expect to want to come back through afterwards, right?
Yeah, so I'm not surprised to see the front chest first, because a lot of people will just do the front chest trying to find a key to try to skip the mummy key. Oh,
that
Trinexx
sucks.
getting his magic eaten by sprite overload.
Oh, that's annoying.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Did have the opportunity to pick up a full magic in Super Bunny Cave, or could have picked up that half magic, but the Super Bunny Cave one was like probably 40 seconds faster.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, half a bar is not horrible. I think you can still get through.
Yeah. No, you can. I mean, especially with the magic pots in the dungeon, both in the kind of the second room as well as in the mummy room. Okay, so that's actually kind of interesting. I was curious. So that those arrows being there are kind of nice for Trinexx, because the fact that he did do the back first, there was a possibility where if the second item was on Moth, Jesse could skip under the bridge. Because he already knows where the other item is in the front. He already got it. But the way the layout kind of worked out, he'll end up having to, if he wants to get both items, he'll have to do both.
Yeah, so I always like to do Skullwoods back to front, like Trinexx is doing, when I have a follow-up play. So if I'm following up with, I assume he's going to go to the village after this, then I mean, I want to kill the Moth first, because it's so overwhelmingly likely that Moth has one of your items that you better just go and do it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just
like,
clear to the one item.
Exactly, and you're coming back through the front, and you have the nice drop. There's the full magic on Jesse's side. But I'm with you. Like, it gives you the opportunity to then kind of just, because I'm assuming they're both going to look to go into the village after this. So Trinexx will clear the front, get the second item, and then he'll just immediately head straight for Village of Outcasts. All right, nice fights from both. But see, like, because that's the thing, Jesse went straight to Moth, hoping he would get the second item. Because if he did, you can actually see how big of a difference that would have made. Because he's already done the front, but he still actually almost caught all the way back up. But what's going to end up happening instead is, I think the other item was in Pot Prison.
Yes. So
Yeah.
Trinexx is probably gonna take the exact same route that Jesse did, doing the front chest and then the pot prison, and then he's gonna just leave. I don't think Jesse did anything beyond getting the book.
Right. Yeah. Well, Trinexx will probably do the bomb jump here as well, because he has the big key.
Get a big key. Okay.
Yeah, we got the big key in the middle. Or
nope, not interested.
What do I know? Hey, nice book. And we're out. Look at that.
Yeah, so it kind of looked like Jesse was making up time, but that was only because he skipped that bridge chest and then he had to go back for it. So
exactly, that's what I mean. Like, it was actually like sneaky as potentially like a big opportunity to pull some time back, but unfortunately for Jesse.
Right. So this is the interesting decision point. Do you continue on to Hype Cave? Oh yeah, definitely want to do Bumper Ledge here because you have a cape. That was like the first item we got. Oh, nice silvers.
That is actually kind of... It would not shock me at all for Trinexx to never get those. Unless the seed is like really gnarly and he has to go do North Darkworld stuff pretty early.
Well, the only thing over there for him is Graveyard Ledge at this point, and yeah, I like you said, I wouldn't be surprised if he just never goes there.
Yeah. That could end up at it. I mean, they both already have Tempered, which is nice. So, obviously, if you already have Tempered, the total value of the silvers is not as big as it is if you're on, like, Fighter Sword, but it still definitely helps. So, we'll see if that ends up starting to come into play.
So it saves between 30 and 40 seconds on Ganon alone, and then Vitreous, it just kind of makes it easier because Vitreous is on a timer.
Right.
Saves like 6 arrow shots in the second phase, which is not nothing, but that's probably your most significant thing. The other thing it would save time on is Argus.
Well, the other thing though too is that it's kind of a safety, right? Because the thing is that it means that there are some parts of the game that you can use your arrows on instead of using magic, which I always feel like that can, when you know that you're not getting half magic, and it's very unlikely either of our runners are, things like up at the top of GT being able to use those to do the land mode 2 fight, as opposed to using up all your magic, or if you are low on magic, having to like hack through with the tempered sword. Like it can add up depending on how things work out, but we'll see how much of a difference it makes.
So decisions locked in here. Trinexx has decided that the front 4 of Thieves Town is all he wants to see, because I believe we just got 3 items and a big key.
Yeah. And that makes sense. Like, the value in the back is... Well, let's see. Oh, wow.
Oh,
okay.
Looks like...
Oh, no, he's
like
leaving.
Jesse... Oh, he's leaving. He's just not death warping. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so when you have, like, reasonably good health, this can be quick. The one thing I would say is, what I've seen other runners do is they'll actually save the 3rd check for last. So they'll do the vanilla big key chest, and then they'll come back around. Because then they can just run out from that 3rd check.
Yeah, if you're committed to running out, I guess that's not terrible. Oh,
yeah.
Picked up a hammer in Brewery, which I know Trinexx got it. I just kind of looked away from the screen when he picked it up.
Yeah. I'm actually a little surprised that he didn't, because did he do hammer pegs?
No, I think he's probably just waiting for a mirror, which I'm probably not waiting for a mirror there. I like what Jesse's doing and just doing it while you're here. You don't have to commit to any of the Smith or Purple chests. Like, that, you can just do hammer pegs as a check by itself.
Yeah. Well, because it's also one of those things, and it is tough to be, like, reading the seed. It's like, stuff can be wherever the heck it wants to, but at the same time, if I'm grabbing that hammer literally right next to hammer pegs, it's probably the lizard part of my brain is going, okay, Go check that right now. Do not leave it.
Go get item. Item good.
Exactly. Yeah, literally. All right. So let's see.
Like this is probably just Eastern here,
Eastern?
and then maybe looking to go to Pod.
Yeah, it looked like Trinexx was thinking about Pod first because he was on the hammer for a sec, but then he swapped.
Yeah, so normally you want to combo Pod and Eastern with mirror, but without a mirror in your pocket, you kind of have to reflect on your decisions at that point.
Yeah. And it's kind of I mean, this makes total sense, by the way. It's a clearable crystal. It's like, go do the thing. Like, we've done all of the, like, good overworld. Go get your... go do the dungeon you have to do. Because also the other thing is, it's not that, like... It's obviously better to do Pod and Eastern together, but it's not like it's that big of a cost if you have to do them separately versus together. So making sure that you actually, like, do the good thing now is very worth it.
Right, and more importantly in my mind is the possibility that your opponent may have gotten what's in here as part of their light world checks, but you've gotten all of the, like, the real painful items already, so if your opponent did this early, you kind of want what's in here.
Ooh, this is really interesting. Here we go. Some divergence. Got Jesse going on.
I wonder if Jesse's thinking Pyramid Fairy, because Desert and Hera are the two reds.
Yeah, well, and you know what? Also, what we were talking about, Jesse may actually be thinking, well, let me put off Eastern for a little bit longer, and then I can go, if I happen to catch a mirror in Desert, I can go in the Dark World, mirror, beat Eastern, and then if I find nothing, maybe Pendant Pod is my next best thing.
I think Mirror actually puts me further into the Pyramid Fairy play, because at that point you can just grab the crystal out of Hera, and then you can take Big Bomb, do Pyramid Ledge and Pyramid Fairy at the same time, and then just go straight to Pod and Mirror to Eastern probably before you do Pod. But
yeah, oh yeah, no, for sure. I think that's kind of probably my hunch is what he's thinking is, can I? Exactly what you're saying. Can I, like, give myself a chance? Because there's no guarantee that you'll get anything good here, but it's like, can I give myself a chance at picking up something that'll really increase my efficiency? And he's giving himself a shot at that.
Is this a Gamba, or did Trinexx get 3 items? I didn't see.
I actually don't know.
Well, he definitely didn't go to the big key chest, so I'm hoping this is a Gamba, and we get a spicy item off of Armos.
Well, no. See, if it's the first runner, what you want that to not be the item, and then it becomes nice gold sword. Then it becomes Schrodinger's Go mode until we actually see the second item.
So our wonderful tracker Drossi has just informed me that the East Big Key was vanilla, so I just was not looking at his screen when he got it.
I'm so upset. Thank you for... No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, thanks for ruining it. I'll say it. No, just too nice.
Drossi, as usual, keeping us honest.
Drossi doing the most important thing, clicking the buttons. Also keeping the commentators honest, which with the two of us is not an easy task.
That's actually, it's like, have you seen Kindergarten Cop? You know. And yes, that does mean that I just basically said Drossi is Arnold Schwarzenegger. So, you know. But, all right, let's see where... Oh, we are immediately... Okay, so this is actually kind of nice for Trinexx. So he's probably headed where Jesse is right now, is my guess. But he gets to do the shovel and then just go south and head from there.
Yeah, because that check gets kind of awkward for Drossi. Or Jesse.
It is also awkward for Drossi. I would say it's both. Alright, nothing. I'm actually a little surprised he saved and quit. I feel like you would have been better off just running out. Am I crazy? Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it's the same number of screens. You just add a save and quit.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you don't. I guess you don't have to run out of there, so that cuts into the time of the save and quit. I don't know. We'll time it later.
Yeah. But yeah, so we are doing our kind of the cleanup in this area. This Agena check is always interesting to me because it's nothing. There are some Kazboots players who really, really, really like doing Agena early, like comboing the Dam and Agena together. And there's always that little bit of concern, right, with any of these like really early available checks. Like, oh man, what if my opponent just pulled, I don't know, the mirror out of here 25 minutes ago?
Yeah, I think in this seed, so Dam Agena is usually a play that you do when you haven't found very many Dark World items and you're maybe a little light on cash for Zora. We didn't have any cash problems, and like we had Dark World access basically right away, even though it wasn't like the one that we wanted. So I would say even for those people that like doing Dam Agena, like I'm one of them. So it's like there are times when you do that, but I don't think that this seed was one of them. So that's probably in Jesse's mind that like, hey, if I find something here, it's not that painful because my opponent probably didn't get it like before. But if Dark World access had been a little more buried, then yeah, it like you have that gnawing feeling in the back of your mind, like, well, my opponent's had the mirror for 25 minutes. What do I do?
Yeah. Well, you also forget the truism in Rando, that is that your opponent does every single correct thing for the entirety of while you don't know what they've done. Right? It's like, because you're not actually racing your opponent. You're racing the platonic ideal of your opponent who makes every right decision. Or at least, I don't know. I feel like that's who I always race.
Well, I can say from experience that while we're racing, my opponent makes all of the perfect decisions and executes perfectly, and then when I'm doing VOD reviews, they've done everything wrong, and I can't believe they ever picked up this game in the first place. So it's
exactly. Oh man, Zelda was a mistake. No. This is what happens when both runners are doing the same thing the other one already did. Because this is effectively like, it's all cleanup. So here's the question: where do they go next?
I mean, I mentioned it a few minutes ago. Like that red crystal is calling to me, but it could just be Ice Palace, right? Because we don't have the flippers, but you can clear it.
Yeah, so that's actually an interesting question, because I do feel like a lot of runners nowadays will try to wait and do ice. Like, if it's out of logic, they'll try to wait and not do it until they have the cane. But I kind of like that thought, because I think sometimes people put off ice too long, and I don't like. What else do we have that's good, if anything?
I think the bigger question is, what can I find in out of logic ice that will benefit my next play? And I think going into ice, trying to find the flute and just kind of knowing that flippers is in one of the dozen or so checks that we have left is probably a valuable thing to know.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the thing, right? Is that we know we need the flips, and the best thing about breaking logic often is the ability to say, okay, I broke logic, so I know where something can't be, and if I can, I know that the flips can't be behind any of the flute stuff if I find the flute in ice. All right.
Trinexx back to the mountain here.
So is this DDM? No, they already did it.
Well, he did DDM. This is the Hera play.
Yeah.
And Ether Tablet. and probably Spike Cave.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense. I think you technically it's not well. It's technically in logic because we know we could have gotten that half magic, right? So
yeah,
and looks like Jesse's making the same play.
I mean, it sucks to have to go here the long way, but you know, these long plays that can be in logic and can be just hard required feel a lot less bad to me, at least.
100%. I think that the single worst feeling play out of all of this is when there's like a late like book or master sword or something, and you've done everything else up here once the long way, and then you get the ability to do Ether Tablet. And it's like, well, that is literally never going to happen until it ends up having like your hard last located progression.
Yeah.
Because it does feels okay when you're like, all right, there's a reasonable chance, because again they're both doing it, like there's a reasonable chance both of you end up doing this right now. Like you've done all of the things that seem pretty good. What are the odds that your opponent, chose to like trip catfish early or something? Because that of course is going to be where
Trinexx getting the hook speed Herapod on the first try. Oh, and now we get a mushroom. Fantastic. Love to see it.
Oh, good. Here we go. Huge. This is exactly what we were hoping for.
Jesse hopefully going to do a bit more of a traditional. Nope.
This is how mine look today.
Yeah. This is why you don't use hook speed. You have 9 bombs. Use one of them.
Yeah, but see, counterpoint, when you do get it first try, it feels amazing.
Disagree. Whenever I get it first try, I get surprised and I hit the up direction and soft block.
Look, that's just saving time, man. Saving frames, all right? You didn't actually need the rest of the dungeon anyway. It's fine. Okay, so it looks like the second item is in the basement. So Trinexx is going back in for it. Yeah,
it usually is an interesting decision, but I think one that Trinexx has to do now, and I think one that Jesse has to do, because like you said, this is a lot like that Ether Tablet, right? Like,
yeah.
If you don't do this now, when are you coming back for this?
Yeah, coming back sucks. Trinexx clearly setting up for the huge.
Yeah. Well, he's setting his search index. I think that's the 4th time he set his search index.
His search index is so set. Yeah, and so Jesse's doing the same thing, which makes sense, right? It's like, I'm gonna bet Jesse doesn't use 13 arrows here.
Well, you never know. He probably doesn't use 13 arrows because he has silvers, so he probably only needs to use 7.
Right, this is true. But yeah, like as you were saying, like both of them are kind of like, okay, well, I really don't want to have to come back here for anything if I can avoid it. Do Hera Basement, and then looks like Trinexx is heading to Spike Cave, which makes total sense.
All right, now on to Spike Cave. All right, what do you think is here?
10 arrows.
Mirror?
10 arrows. No, $20. I will say I like Jesse walking out. That if you are unless you are planning to death warp and you take a bunch of damage, that death warp feels terrible.
Well, I think that was kind of Trinexx's actual goal when he was noodling around like that. Was to take the damage. He just wanted to
go off for the restream, man.
Do something a little silly on restream, yeah.
Look, if there's one time to do something silly. All right, so we got the mushroom turn in. What do you think, Big Bomb?
Yeah, actually.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, Jesse hasn't done the shovel yet.
Okay,
Ooh,
see,
nice
there's
flippers.
the flippers, and that just gets us to Ice Palace anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
So that would have been. I mean, if the progression does end up in Ice Palace, that's kind of the advantage that you get, like because
Yeah.
like PH was saying before, like you can figure out where it cannot be.
Well, and
And then-
on the off chance that your mirror is in Ice Palace, it would have made all of the stuff that you just had to do a lot less bad, frankly. Well, not a lot. Maybe that's overstating it, but it would have made it,
It would
less
have made
bad.
it a little less bad, especially on Trinexx's side, because he did do that Death Warp. And a bold move coming in here with only 2.5 Fire Rod shots of magic.
And no bottles.
Okay, so berries are in the skeleton pack, which I think is their vanilla pack, but
Okay.
that's still gonna be. Oh, you know what? Pengators are in the magic pack because Gyptos were in the magic pack.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So I wonder if he knew that, and
Did
he's just flexing
maybe?
on everyone.
Well, he got 0
Of
drops.
course, you
in
get no
here,
drops.
I know.
Actually, you know what? He doesn't know that Pengators are in the magic pack because he didn't get any drops from Gyptos.
I was gonna say. I think it was Jesse that got the magic.
Yeah,
right?
he
He
got the full magic.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what Pyramid Ledge has.
Just some bombs.
All keeps winning.
And nothing fantastic.
All right. So.
Oh,
This
okay.
is-
It's Stalfoses that are in the magic pack. So I wonder if the Pengators are in the fairy pack then. Trinexx, you probably want that key. Yeah.
So Jesse is headed to Pod here, which is interesting. I kind of like it. So I was wondering if he was going to do the magic, the turn into catfish. Yeah, that was
That was sweaty.
close. That was well done. We got it. I thought maybe he was going to do mushroom turn into catfish, but technically going from the pyramid is the fastest way to get to Pod. It is actually faster to run from there than to Food to 5.
So he can't turn in the mushroom because he doesn't have the mirror. So like those two checks are just kind of
Right.
very
Yes.
incongruent right now. No,
Yes,
this
that would
makes
be
sense from
difficult.
Jesse's. This makes sense from Jesse's side if he doesn't want to do out of logic Ice Palace, and this is the danger of having three pendants that have 5 items each, right? Is because you do
Yeah.
want to do these dense dungeons.
Yeah, I mean, now the flip side is that if the mirror ends up in here, he's suddenly, or even the flute, because if he's got the flute, I feel like that is going to be that's going to get him to the flippers pretty fast, because with the flute, the mushroom turn in is super easy. So it really comes down to is this dungeon, is the progression just in ice, or is there some value here?
Yeah, and I mean, I've cleared many an Ice Palace that was just completely empty, but I've also won big races by going to Ice Palace earlier than most people. So
Yeah, totally. It's I mean, it's good. It's a good dungeon to do. So for example, one of, I think, the most successful and talented runners, the Lane, I've talked to him about saying, like, he feels like people put this dungeon off way too long, and I think he's absolutely right. So
yeah, that was true.
Ooh, nice clip.
That was true before Icebreaker, and now after Icebreaker, it's even more true. Like, you really want that
Totally.
Samaria.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this is one of those things, like we talked about. There's like a hand, like, and we saw they were very close, or kind of like doing the thing the other one did. There's a few key decisions. And funnily enough, like, it can be one of those things where going and getting those flippers could actually hurt Trinexx because it keeps him out of here longer, or it could really help him if the answer's just here.
Yeah, Palace is one of those that you gain about 1.5 minutes between go mode and full clear, and that's if that's not the biggest gain from go mode versus full clear, it's certainly top 3. So committing yourself to full clearing Ice Palace is always a risk.
Especially without Icebreaker, right? Like, it's the time cost is exacerbated if you have to do it the I won't say the developer intended way. We'll say Rando Classic.
Rando Classic.
So one thing I'm actually curious your opinion. So I'm a big fan of when you get those kind of like one-off, somewhat gross, like the mushroom, those kind of like the fetch quests. I do like trying to knock them out relatively quickly. Clearly Jesse is looking to try and like maximize his efficiency by waiting. Where do you kind of fall in that?
So there's been an analysis of 100,000 seeds, and the conclusion that came to was the further in logic that you find a fetch quest item, the less likely that it's going to be required, which kind of makes sense, you know, like the more items you need to access it, the fewer number of items that can be hidden on that. So I think it starts at 25% if you find it in Sphere 0, and then it halves for every Sphere of Logic. That mushroom is behind, I think, 4 items at this point. So I would probably just put it off. I would probably be where Jesse's at.
Well, Jesse did just pull the mirror, so you'd be in good shape.
I wouldn't like where I am though. Like, I feel like with easily available big bomb, you know, your opponent's probably just gonna get here at some point anyway. So it looks like that's what Trinexx is trying to do here, and like that's not actually a rock Trinexx. Yeah, so you would rather that mirror have been like in the back of Thieves Town, and then you make that play.
That's fair. I mean, I do think you probably sort of think to yourself, oh man, it was annoying to do all that mountain stuff, but at the same time, getting here does give you the opportunity, like, it is going to be a little bit more efficient for Jesse. It also does open up some other checks for him if he wants to do now that kind of like mushroom catfish play, like the North Dark World stuff. It also gives him graveyard ledge. I think if he's able to get like, the question will really be like, at what point does he get those flips and trek to ice? Because he also, even if he does, this is actually interesting, if he does the mushroom turn into catfish play, that'll actually work out super well, because then he can just take the warp straight to Ice Palace and save himself the run.
That's true as well. I wonder if he's going to be interested in doing Swamp first, because like from our perspective, we know that ice is empty, but yeah,
that's true.
And here's another question though, from our tracker Drossi, like does Trinexx just leave after getting mirror and go straight to Swamp?
Probably. I'm a little surprised that Jesse finished Helma after getting the mirror. I feel like given that it's not a green pendant, I know it was an item, but
it was an item, and he doesn't know what's on Ped, and that's a real pain to get back to.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I would say, I think I do kind of agree. I think in Trinexx's position, because at that point, you're what, King Go, right? Or no, flute.
We need flute, yeah, and
yeah.
No, we do have 2 medallions, so if I have 2 medallions, I usually don't count it, but technically we could combos.
Yeah, that's fair. But like I think with what you're kind of looking at here, you know that the cane can't be on pedestal, right? So
Right.
at that point, you're basically saying like, unless it is exactly the flute, I'm going to go spend a lot of time to beat Trinexx for one item, or do I just bail and immediately get to my, giant, already available crystal dungeon?
Yeah, and you really do not want to see the Cane of Samaria in this seed, because that just opens up the possibility that, Flute might just be sitting in Turtle Rock. So you definitely want to find Flute before Samaria here.
Yeah. So let's see. So Jesse, this feels like Jesse is trying to like do some kind of efficient cleanup on his way into Swamp, but no, he can't. What is he? I'm a little. All right. I guess maybe doing this into the warp into. We haven't. Yeah, we have Bombos tablets still, right? Yeah.
I'm sorry. What did you say?
I was saying we have Bombos tablets still, right? We haven't seen.
Yeah, we also have K45, and that's why he's running the chest all the way down.
Oh, for sure. I was just trying to think like and I mean it makes sense if you think you have 4 of these, because I was just trying to think like doing this over other stuff. But this is probably, even though it's not fast, it's probably his most dense stuff remaining, I would imagine.
Yeah, Jesse gets to clean up a lot of stuff here, and basically just isolate Thieves Town forever until it's his go mode. But
yeah, right. Well, of course, it's going to be in the Thieves Town big chest, as is tradition. All right.
Yeah, so if I'm Jesse right now, I'm not happy that I didn't get anything off of any of that.
Yeah. Smith Chain in Kaz Boots is always kind of like, because Kaz Boots is it's so fast as a mode. It always feels a little bit rough, especially when you strike out.
Well, yeah, not to mention there's only like 27 items that you need, right? Versus like a Key Sanity mode where you need 70 plus.
Exactly. Well, so here we go. Yeah, so we can see Trinexx did just choose to head out, and is probably going to make his way into Swamp here, which makes sense. Like, I think at that point, you've got so much value there.
Is this what, Man Under Bridge? Oh, he doesn't have the flippers. Never mind.
Yeah, no, he's got. I think this is
just running for the
mushroom turning into catfish.
Okay, if you want to go into catfish, I guess this makes sense.
In my experience, Jesse is like extremely consistently good about like putting together routes. Like, I'd be very surprised if he didn't have something in mind like that.
Yeah, and I think this might set off the panic alarm here for Jesse, because he has been holding that mushroom for a while, and like it's Kaz Boots. Like, anybody can do an available check at any time. It's so fast that there's a lot to be said for decision making, but your suboptimal plays can also just work out a lot more often in something like Kaz Boots.
Exactly. Look, I believe it's called luck sacking. Have you heard of it, Sean?
I have never personally experienced it, but I believe someone named PH has a very good luck sack emote.
It's not just getting lucky. It's a way of life. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I think this makes sense. Like, you're right there, and ice is, solid value. And I think at this point, maybe Jesse's close enough to, he's maybe hoping he can skip left side if he can catch one of his remaining items in here.
Yeah, or he's hoping that Red Cane is in here and like every other rando player in the world, Trinexx put this off until Red Cane. So
Yeah,
it is kind of playing to an out here.
right.
The out being the meta.
Yep. No, 100%. And it makes sense. Like that is honestly still one of the things that it's both a smart decision and it's like you need to be willing to you have to be careful because you don't want to try and like guess too much what your opponent's going to do because often we guess wrong. But I think you still need to kind of like put a route together at least a little bit with like what are the odds that because again like it looks like this is at least a couple of required items in pretty gnarly places. Both of our runners are still missing. I was about to say multiple things, and thank you, Trinexx, for making me wrong. but but it does it definitely feels bad. I think if you're spending all this time in all these dungeons, you're like, I've got to try and think either if my opponent didn't do this, what are the odds that I'm drawing dead, right?
Right.
And then the general rule is we do that and we get it wrong, and then we end up doing bad things instead.
No, I think you're totally right in that. This game is unique in that the things that you do will not affect what your opponent does. So thinking about what your opponent does can be part of the game, but you can't just let it dictate every move you make, because then you'll just make the low percentage stuff all the time and just try to spike every item in bad spots. So I think you kind of have to mix that with Jesse's played a really smart and very methodical game so far, but seeing that he could have maybe beaten those flippers a few minutes earlier, I'm wondering if he's now thinking okay, if I followed this line, where would I end up? And maybe trying to game the game in so many words.
Right. Yeah, and I think you're right too that it's it definitely a little bit of that. Oh shoot, I definitely could have had those. It's been a while, and instead of doing that, I did some not super fast overworld and didn't get any value out of it. So if my opponent didn't do that, what can I do to maybe make up for it, right? And it doesn't have to be doing bad stuff. It can be just getting super aggressive and saying, all right, well, I'm going to skip iced tea or whatever.
Yeah, or even something as simple as, or you could even go the other way with it and say, I'm gonna sit around and do left side swamp because my opponent probably sees this flute and just goes to mire, tries to spike the cane, so I'm gonna hope that he missed it.
100%. That's exactly right. And that actually, so that's the funny thing is that because so we're about an hour in now. I think my sense, right? I think, tell me if I'm wrong. I feel like Trinexx is a bit ahead at current, right? I would say, because a big chunk of that was Jesse doing Smith Chain and the helmet kill that Trinexx didn't have to do.
I would say that Trinexx is ahead for now, but I think if Kane is not in the next 3 checks, Trinexx is going to start giving back a lot of time.
Oh, totally. No, I agree with you. But I think that the reason why I would say that is that so to your point, something like that left side swamp play can be one of the opportunities for Jesse to catch an out, right? Because Trinexx did choose to leave it. He probably is thinking you are. Oh, okay. Well, because it's he's got other better stuff to do. But does he go back into left side swamp before doing the overworld that Jesse did? Probably not. So if that is where it is, there's a good chance that he full clears the rest of the overworld stuff into swamp in the same fashion.
And since we are at that hour mark, why don't we give our runners a follow? And may I take this time to say thank you so much, PH. You are a delight to calm with.
Oh my gosh, I could not be happier to spend this time with you, with the amazing crew, and also like Jesse and like this is a great race. This is like you could have told me, like if I wasn't following this tournament, you could have told me that this was like a race deep in the tournament, and I would have been like, yeah, absolutely, that makes total sense. The fact that we're getting it this early is unusual but awesome, and this has just been a blast. So.
And also, big
Yes.
shout out to our tracker Drossi, ever present in the speed gaming community. In fact, is he an elder entity by now, or we'll talk about it after the stream.
Yeah. So this is going to be, I think, this is going to be basically a huge pivot point, right? Because, like you were saying, if Trinexx catches the cane in here, then it's going to be a pretty substantial lead. But if he doesn't, and also especially like Jesse could choose not to face in here. That was an early big key I thought I saw, right?
I feel like if he got an early big key, probably is not doing cutscene.
Well, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm seed bleeding. But like I think if you're probably right. In Trinexx's situation, I feel like you go straight to the boss first if you get another big key. I think you're right.
Just based, well, you can't go to the boss without Samaria, but like just based on plays that Trinexx has been making, he's been trying to cut the corners wherever he can.
Yeah.
And I think cutscene is a big corner that people try to cut.
Yeah.
Whenever possible.
Yes, this is a good point. It would be difficult for him to go to the boss right now. If he could go to the boss, he wouldn't be looking for stuff. I'm paying attention. No, that's that's a nice powder. Oh, hey, look.
Okay, so there's a big key there in the lobby.
So that is interesting though, because that power. I mean, so this is one of those things where it's like, oh, maybe it's a big time save, but maybe it's just the answer is just that powder. And sadly, you can't fake powder when the Cane of Samaria is on Magic Bat. Very rude.
Yeah, how rude of him. Unfortunately, we have picked up a mirror shield on both sides. I don't know your thoughts on shields or whatever. I like to see my sprite. That's why I picked my sprite, because I like looking at it. So mirror shield definitely prevents that.
Yes, I mean, I won't say what I prefer. All I will say is that in my race earlier today, I saw a shield on Pyramid Ledge, and I did go pick it up. So you can infer whatever you need to infer from that. Lana is already plotting my demise, understandably. But, outside of that.
Yeah, so I think we either hit our last chest in mire or got both items out of it. So Trinexx now going to give that Smith chain time back to Jesse, and I can't help but wonder at this point, is he going to go back to that green pendant?
Yeah, I think so. I think that's a great question, is because also, does Jesse, with less stuff to do, does he go back in for left side here? He did just get that flute, but it doesn't open up that much, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like Jesse is normally very careful. Like he's a big advocate to stay in places whenever you're there, so that you don't leave anything behind. And especially, I think it was noted before that Trinexx's tracker says there are 3 items left on left side swamp.
Yeah, we got the big key and map and compass, so there's big chest buff plus both left side. So Trinexx is going to be giving back a bunch of time here. I think your question is actually one of the best ones too, is does Trinexx partially cut this off and maybe do Back of Thieves, which also could be the answer. Because here we go. Jesse's going back in. Oh, this is interesting though. That's right. Trinexx does have this magic bat check. This is the one thing that Jesse couldn't do.
This is a big one here.
Yeah.
That would confirm the Meyer double dip. There
Oh
it
my gosh.
is. Oh my,
Well,
that's go mode.
that is go mode for Trinexx. That is really, really, really tough for Jesse. There was definitely at that point a path, but being on the being on the powder makes that really
Yeah,
tricky. Because yeah,
so I mean, this is definitely Jesse's next move. But with 3 items in left side swamp, you can't fault him for going back in for it.
I don't fault him at all. Like I think because on top of that, like we were talking about, like Jesse probably also is thinking like, what are if I feel bad, and I think there's you catch those flips kind of late, you see the flute here, you're probably thinking, what do I have that I could do that maybe somebody isn't going to do? I've already killed Helma for nothing. I did Smith Chain for nothing. Even though this isn't the answer, this is in his situation still the right thing to do, because if he literally did the exact right thing from this point, he's still multiple minutes behind.
Yeah, like having that flute in hand makes. I mean, it makes left side swamp equal to Meyer area if Meyer is Bombos. So, given the information that he knows, he's making a coin flip right now.
Yeah. And on top of that, that was in the cutscene chest, no less.
Right.
Ideal. So, like, because there is a non-zero chance. There is a non-zero chance, even if he goes into Meyer, that he skips that.
I'm not sure. I think he takes the same route as Trinexx took. Just because he's in Meyer and he's looking for items and he hasn't found anything yet. Because
Yeah,
when you
fair.
do the normal route, you're not going to find anything before the powder.
No, that's fair. It's more that kind of to what we were discussing. Like, he's in a situation where, if he's thinking I need to cut some corners. Also, right now, it wouldn't shock me if he just pushes into Thieves, because he's already here, right? Like, he doesn't have the powder, so you're talking about going into Meyer for maybe 1 item. Maybe, like, it's not guaranteed that you get 2 items in Meyer.
Yeah,
okay.
But you get Shed and Checkerboard Cave.
Yeah.
And we know there's only 2 items in Thieves, so I think the Thieves play would be, wow, I feel irrecoverably behind.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, I'm wondering. At this point, it would not surprise me if he feels really bad. Like, there isn't a lot. Like, there's like, what has he not done at this point from like a available checks perspective? This and Thieves, right? He's done, and what, Graveyard Ledge? I think he's done literally everything else.
Hey PH, people in chat are posting a lot of numbers. Why are they doing that?
Numbers. Oh my gosh. Well, as numbers, I am a big fan of numbers. But no, it's this is the official Big Key guessing game, and this is because there are 22 locations in which the TT Big Key can be located. Especially when you say location twice, that helps. Sean, where do you think the Big Key is?
I'm gonna say it's probably pretty early. Trinexx is I believe he's a Stalfos first router, so I'm gonna say 4.
All right, I like it. I'm gonna go with. So you said Trinexx is like Stalfos Compass.
I think he is. Yeah, I think he's Stalfos Compass Rando.
Colloquially known as DM route. Trinexx, why are you don't? No, thank you. Okay. he was quick swapping to the ether. I was like, please don't open TR. But I'm gonna go with 9. I think he finds it in Compass Room.
I would like to take this time to shame Trinexx for opening GT with his sword out. If we were not on fast ROM, that would be 15 frames slower. Unfortunately, we are on fast ROM, and that doesn't matter.
The single worst thing about Fast ROM. All right, let's see. Where are we going? We are going left first. All right.
Yeah, that's a good point from chat. We had not opened up the TR portal yet, so it's actually slower to go through the TR portal than to go through just go through Super Money Cave. It's only by about, I don't know, like 3-4 seconds, but obviously there's no way to know where you are in a race, but 3 or 4 seconds is usually pretty negligible in a rando race.
Like, I think that so I'm trying to remember. Is it that so my recollection, maybe I'm wrong, is that going up through Super Bunny is still, it's basically even if the portal hasn't been opened, and it's a little bit slower if the portal has been opened. That's what I thought I remembered, but I am really not certain about that at all.
So going up Super Bunny is faster because the hammer cutscene and the lag for the portal to open is it's very small, but like it's so if the TR portal is already open, it is faster to go through the TR portal. It's about a second faster to go through the TR portal, but that peg maze takes a lot more than a second. It takes about 6.
Okay. I will take your word for it.
Well, you shouldn't do that. You should time things yourself.
Time it yourself? Boy, that's a catchy. That's catchy. I like that.
Yeah, someone should use that as a catchphrase. Maybe it'll catch on.
Yeah, maybe put it on a shirt. Oh no, we lost Jesse's train.
Oh no! Well, I know who Jesse's internet provider is, and I will say that I am not surprised.
Oh dear.
Oh, we finally got Man Under the Bridge check. Which...
Yeah, I think. Yeah, this is Jesse is probably at this point.
Just kind of cleaning up whatever you can, and just pick what you're gonna last locate. All right, here we go. We've got the bat check. So Jesse is gonna be in go mode here, but Chewy Big Key here.
Yeah.
We're pretty far into this dungeon.
Let's see. Oh, there it is.
Okay, of course it's in Rando Room. This is Rando.
Rando Rush wins again. Let's see, what would that be? It was the third check-in Rando Room. Fixed on the right.
Our tracker says it's number 16.
Yep. Makes sense.
Which... Oh, that says 18. Oh, we do have a 16. Say Tayraresh, guess 16. Congratulations. You win a lifetime of Rando Seeds. Redeemable at... actually, this coupon is now redeemable at multiple locations, ALTTPR.com or avianart.gg. So...
That's the only thing I regret about all that is I didn't get to tell him what he's won, Sean.
Oh. Oh. We'll do it next time.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. I missed that during dress rehearsal too. And
yeah, come on. That was basically the only reason I actually wanted to do this comms was the opportunity to do that. But,
yeah. So I've ruined everything, obviously.
No, it just means we have to do this again.
Oh. I will happily do this again. I've had so much fun.
Yeah. Trinexx kind of making his way through the code. That was a nice 2-5. Jesse's internet provider having less fun.
Trinexx trying to do a bit of a swag strat there, but unfortunately didn't wait in the room before long enough.
I mean, still, honestly, look, he still got like a 1-ish cycle. That looked okay.
Yeah, it was fine. It's just not what he wanted to see. He wanted to
That's true.
double spin them all.
Yeah, that's true. It does look really slick if you get it. It's have you ever? I've literally never gotten it once.
I've gotten it with Samaria. I haven't gotten it raw like that.
Got it. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, Jesse picking up his 7th crystal here. He's going to be heading to GT shortly. But he's just about a GT behind.
Yeah, and like honestly, if I finish a GT behind my opponent, like I consider that a victory. That's just, you know, he found the thing first, or they found the thing first, and you know, there's not much you can do about it.
Yeah, and I mean, if you look at it, like we talked about it during the seed, right? Both of them made very reasonable decisions throughout. It was this is the challenge of, I mean, Rando in general, but casual boots in particular, is that you are probably going to have to make a call at some point, and if you make the right call versus the wrong call, it can be a 5+ minute difference. And you know, for Jesse doing some of the other cleanup that he did and putting off the, you know, getting the flippers, like the flippers basically unlock the rest of the seed, right? Get your flute, get that powder, get your cane. Nice triple.
Very nice triple there. That's not an easy pattern to hit.
No, that's a really tough. This
and
is a less,
just a reminder, this is game 3 of a 3-game series. Trinexx looks to be pretty comfortably in the lead here. Gonna drop it again, and is gonna have to do it silverless, but does have that gold sword. So, but as we know, I've seen weirder things happen. So it's not over until the pig blows up.
Yeah, I think the way to put it is it's never over, but it is probably mostly. You know, it's like Miracle Max. He's only mostly dead. He's not all dead. Gold sword, very nice, easy, casual 1-on-1.
Yeah, Trinexx knowing that he doesn't have that half magic, so it's just gonna guarantee the glitch here with the lamp. Probably do fire rod for the actual spins, but why take a risk when you don't have to?
Totally. There we go. Oops.
Nope. Luckily got some health to spare.
Yeah. How many spins, Sean?
That would be 12 spins. It's the same with gold sword or tempered sword.
Yeah. But if you're lucky enough to do a Master Sword Ganon, oh baby, 24.
Oh. Yep, I actually played a seed earlier tonight where I had to do a Master Sword Ganon, so I actually have fun with the Master Sword fight. I know a lot of people say like it's something that you have to do and nothing that you ever want to do. But as the pig has exploded, please get your GGs in chat for Trinexx, who will take this game and this series. And what a race!
GGs for Trinexx, and also GGs to Jesse. Like this was a really good race. It very easily still could have turned on a lot of different things, and both of them are really, really, really good. But excited for Trinexx moving on to the next round in the Casual Boots tournament.
And I checked the race room, and we did get a forfeit from Jesse once he saw the not done come in. So we'll see who joins us for interviews here. Both of them get invitations. Look like they both have joined the room, so we will get that momentarily.
Yeah, I think my hunch is that they both probably have some thoughts. Looks like we are joined by both of our runners. GG's to both of you. That was actually a really interesting seed.
Yeah.
Thanks. GG's to Jesse.
Yeah, GG's Trinexx.
All right, so I don't know. Did you guys talk in the you came in pretty fast. I don't know. Did you talk in the race room at all, or have you a sense of kind of where the divergence?
Not at this point, no.
Got it. So I think, and I'd actually really be curious to hear both of your thoughts, but one of the biggest things, Trinexx, you pushed the mushroom turn-in a lot earlier than Jesse did. And the reason that ended up making such a big difference is that it looked like you might end up having to do a lot of the stuff that Jesse did in the interim, but you'd gotten the powder out of Meyer first. And so when you started doing Smith Chain, obviously you got your Samaria for go mode there, because that was basically the big pivot point. Because otherwise we were kind of talking about, oh man, could it be in left side swamp, or could it be in, graveyard ledge or some random really nasty location or something like that.
I say, yeah. So I guess that
was
you
having a feeling.
but Jesse had done like the Smith Chain stuff beforehand, at least. Is that what?
Yeah,
I got
exactly.
the mirror.
Yeah.
I got the mirror routed in Smith Chain to Bombos tablet, then did up to Catfish, and got my flippers after Smith Chain. So
Yeah,
I did Catfish into Ice, and then finally Swamp. So
I say.
So can I stop at the flippers, and like you had just done Smith Chain and you had done all of that cleanup stuff, and you got absolutely nothing from it. So what was the thought when you saw flippers on the mushroom turn-in?
I don't like the mushroom. I think the mushroom and I aren't friends anymore.
Oh no.
No, it's fine. Like, I think there's been a few seeds where it's like I delay mushroom a little bit more than I need to, and I tried to route it in as best as possible. Where was that in Hera?
Yeah, it was Hera.
So,
Yeah.
and that's the thing.
doing
Like, there was so much like that was just isolated in this because of like how bad some of the items were. It's like you get that mirror out of pod, and it's like, I guess I'll kill Helma. And like left side swamp, I couldn't stay away from left side in the big chest. Like, I'm looking for Samaria, and there's 3 items left in swamp, maybe. And maybe I psyched myself out a little bit on watching back last night's race, because it was like, Trinexx went back into swamp last night. Maybe he'll do it again, because the seed is also terrible.
Well, I think in that case,
man,
that's what saved me for Smith Chain, because that was basically making me not want to go back in at all, because I at least had a lot left to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. So Trinexx, because Trinexx didn't do Helma, didn't do left side swamp. And I think that because, again, like the ordering here was a little different, it, like we were talking about it, both of your decisions made complete sense with different information, right? Like you are staring at, like, frankly, a lot less good stuff to do. It's like, oh my gosh, there's 3 items here on left side swamp. And on top of that, like,
it was
kind of like the flippers, that makes total sense to go do. But Trinexx leaving
like, I've
also
got
makes sense.
left side swamp for 3. I've got graveyard ledge. I've got the back of thieves, and I've got Meyer area. And it's like, I'm never coming back to swamp. I have nothing bringing me to swamp. The rest of the seed, like, I've done Bombo's tablet, I've done Smith Chain. There's not a nice way to come back to Swamp Palace. Just like there wasn't a nice way to get back to Catfish. It was like, I have to do this while I'm here, or else it's just dead forever, and I'm not ready to write that check off yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that made total sense. Like you said, you had just gotten the flute, so it's like, if you can't open Meyer, it's basically a coin flip between that and left side swamp, and you might as well just do left side swamp while you're there. So, like, with the information that you were given, like, everything that both of you did made complete sense. It's just rando being rando.
Welcome,
The one thing that I-
casual boots.
The one thing I was making sure is I had all 3 keys before turning in that powder, because I was thinking for a second, like,
Yep.
is this even scenario locked?
Yep. Same thought.
No, good call.
I looked at my tracker. I was like, we've got 3 keys. Okay, powder is good.
Yeah.
Go do
Yes,
powder
exactly.
for sure.
That's funny. What was I going to say? Also, Trinexx did. So you decided not to check Bumper Ledge. Were you kind of thinking, oh, maybe I'll do that with the North Darkwood stuff later?
Yeah, that was the plan at least, because I think at that point I was committing to the Dark World loop, and at that point there was 1 crystal open, and at that point I just got more and more crystals potentially open. So it's like, all right, well,
Yeah,
check that later on.
for sure. That was your silvers.
Oh, of course.
You know, all the times, I think we've had Cape every seed in this series, so like eventually Cape had to pay out, right? It just didn't pay out in the most interesting way.
Well, if nothing else,
Yeah.
it gave us something to talk about.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was because honestly, that the Trinexx. The funny thing, if you guys watch this back, like you had very, very, very similar routes, and even when you diverged, like I think Jesse went to Desert first, and Trinexx you went to Eastern first, but then you pretty much just swapped positions, right? So it was really more or less the same up until kind of coming out of Skull, and that was really when the seed first started to give like some separation.
Yeah, I mean, you get hammer, and you get a book, and you get a bow, and it's like, okay, I've got Hera, Desert, and Eastern all opened up. 2 of those are 5/6s. I don't think it matters what order I do Eastern, Desert. Maybe I can get a mirror from one of them to make Hera less terrible, because I don't want to have to go East Death Mountain to get to Hera, but I guess I will. And since I had to go East Death Mountain to Hera, it's like, I guess I'll do the basement. So,
Nope, that's the exact thing for me. It's like I got
Yeah.
angry about the basement being nothing, which is why I prioritize that mushroom more than anything else. Like, please give me something from this stupid
By
one.
the
and that
way,
was the thing. After
we-
Hera, it was like, I'm going straight to Pyramid Ferry and that loop. Or that play, and that led me into Pod, because I was like, Pyramid Ferry Pod is my next play. I do not care as much about this mushroom at the moment. I thought the 5/6 was higher priority than the mushroom, so.
We will say though, Trinexx, we very much appreciated how you set your index about 15 times. That was
So
good.
yes, I was thinking about going into ice afterwards. I know it was effed up because of Armos, and I kept getting hit by the tiles. And I was just like, this is the worst possible thing. I just use bombs, damn it! What's wrong with you?
It was great. But it helped the Death Warp, so it worked out.
Yes, a little bit, not by much.
Yeah,
Um,
so Trinexx, you won game 3, GG. You move on to the tournament. Do we know who your opponent's going to be yet?
I don't know.
I think I know who it is. I think it's Akuhaish.
Okay, that'll be a fun one too.
Nice.
Right, look out for those races on SpeedGaming. And Jesse, unfortunately, your tournament is at an end. Do you have any plans for after this?
I mean, I'm still in 2 other tournaments right now, so
Probably good to get one off your plate then.
I was in 4. So like 2-3 weeks ago, I was in 4 tournaments. I was in Randomizer tournament, Kaz Boots, Co-op Cross Keys, and Cross Keys. 2 weeks ago, I got knocked out in game 3 by GFE and Randomizer. So like, appropriate person to knock you out of Randomizer.
Of course.
Yeah.
And as I was saying, like, I just had Murderer's Row in brackets. If it worked out, it was like I had Jejo round 1 into GFE round 2. If I beat GFE, it was going to be Zenit Schwart and then Bread. I was like, I wasn't going to catch a break in that tournament in brackets.
God. Nice.
And then, you know, now I'm out of Kaz Boots, but I still have Cross Keys for another 5 races, and Co-op Cross Keys, we'll see how long that much goes. I'm fine. Like, I've got tournaments to do and races to try and play. I'm not gonna. I made it into brackets, and I got to race Trinexx in brackets, and like, I'm not gonna complain. Like, Kaz Boots, it's one of those tourneys, like, you can go on a run and get a little lucky for a while, or you can just like have a great series like this where it's like a couple of decisions here or there. I don't think I won't change what I did in any of the 3 races against Trinexx ever. I'll stand by what I did this week.
It
Very,
did
very
seem
reasonable.
like everything you did made sense, and I think we're gonna. On that note, we're just gonna bring this to a close. I just want to take this time to say thank you once again, PH. You are one of my favorite members of the community. See my full tier list at. But yeah.
No, thank you
And-
so much. I did want to really quickly, Trinexx, I didn't know if you wanted to add anything really fast. Just
No, I just wanted to say I enjoyed the series a lot with Jesse. I was kind of looking forward to it, and basically going to Game 3 was probably the ideal outcome.
well, GG's to both you and Sean. Thank you, Drossi. Thank you. I could not have asked for a better race. I could not have asked for a better comms partner. So, Sean, you are the best as always.
All right. Well, I think that's gonna bring our night to an end. Good night, everybody. Check the schedule for future races.
Bye.
All right.
We out.